This is Brenton with Precise Pet Care, and welcome to our staff pay rates information video. We're currently on our dashboard page. To manage staff accounts, you're going to want to click on Staff and then Staff Accounts. Initially, when it is opened, you're going to be able to see all of the staff members' information. If you click on each of these tabs, you'll see more information regarding their schedules, journals that they've sent, timesheets, if any, if you have this feature turned on, payroll history, availability for that staff member, any keys they might have, etc. Some of these options will depend on your settings. Since this is the staff overview page, you'll only be able to see information specific to the staff member. However, you can click on this button for view types. We're currently in the overview. We can click on the birthdays view, and any staff member that has a birthday during this month will show up in a calendar. Of course, you could switch back and forth to other months. Finally, you can click on the table view, and you'll see every staff member, which is very useful for making bulk edits to multiple staff members. You could choose to select them by their account type, administrator, pet sitter, or even manager, or you could choose to select them all at once. This is useful for messaging from this area, which you could also do in the communications and messages area, or you can make bulk edits using the bulk editor. To add a new staff account, we're going to click on the new staff account button, enter their email. Every staff account must have a unique email address system-wide. You can have the system generate a random password for them, or you can choose to set one for them as well. You can choose to enter a nickname for the system to abbreviate their full name to. Maybe this John Dimbo wants to go by John or Johnny. You can choose to set a color for the staff member, which will show up in the system as a highlight over their name. Enter their birthday if you'd like. And by doing that, they will show up in the birthdays calendar that we just showed you, and will be in a monthly email letting you know when their birthday is. Photos of the staff member can be added. That can only be added by administrators or managers. Staff members cannot add their own photos. This is the photo clients would see on pet care journals or any client-facing pages inside the portal. You have to choose their account type. Administrator will give every capability and feature to this staff member. Manager will allow you to choose certain permissions for what pages, profiles, operations that they have access to, any sort of financials, reports, and other areas of the system. And you can choose to make financials visible or hidden to this particular staff member. There are certain pages that might show certain financial information simply because they have access to that area, such as billing, invoices, and transactions, or reports. So something just to keep in mind when you're setting up manager accounts. Choosing pet sitter, and then you can give them permissions to particular territories if you use that feature. You can choose to mark them as a social media manager if they need to have access to all photos regardless of the client. And if they happen to be a client as well, then you can choose to set them as one by using this feature and connecting them to a client profile in the system. That will give the sitter the ability to swap back and forth between their client profile and their sitter profile, which is of course really helpful in the event that the client wants to schedule services. Set up alternate email addresses if they need to have a separate one other than a work email for them to get hold of, send to cell phone or any other information you need to have relating to their contact information. By choosing to list them inside of staff contacts, you will make their contact information available to other staff members inside the system. Their biography section can be their position, and a bio can be written about the staff member that will be client facing. So they will see that bio on journals or from the schedule. You can choose to require journal approvals for each individual staff member if you'd like. This is very useful for brand new staff members. Once brand new staff members send in a journal that needs to be approved, a manager or administrator will need to approve it before it's sent to the client. In the pay rate section, you can set an hourly pay rate if you choose to turn on this feature with time tracking, set any amount that works for you. This hourly pay rate will be calculated based on the time that the staff member is clocked in from the beginning of the first time that they arrive at a visit until they manually clock out using a button all the way at the top here. You might not use hourly pay rates, in which case you can set custom rates per visit, per service type, or you could set all base services. You would already set a default pay rate that would work cross-board for your staff members. But if a particular staff member has a custom rate, you can set that here. You can make it even more granular and make it for specific clients. And you can add as many as you like by using Add Custom Rate button. You can also adjust their custom rates if they have separate rates for additional pets than what is the default. When you set up their account, you can send an email notification to the new staff member if you choose yes. And of course, you can have a message inside of that email to send to them once their account is created.